Dr. Prahalada Ramarao, Professor T.G. Sitaram, Mr. Kushal Shetty, and Dr. Shashankan Ramanathan to kindly occupy the dais, please. So this workshop is first of its kind workshop in India on coastal reservoirs, and we are very happy to host this at Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham University. And coincidentally, this workshop started with a good rain, bringing a lot of water. So it is a very good positive sign. And on behalf of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham University, and on special behalf of Professor R. Subbarao, who will be joining us soon in Skype, I extend a very warm welcome to all the delegates to this conference. And this idea is very unique with the multidisciplinary theme, and Professor Sitaram has taken this to a great higher level, bringing so many experts, subject experts in one platform. And now I request Professor T.G. Sitaram to formally welcome the delegates and give his opening remarks.
Very good morning to all of you. I'm very happy to be here at Amrita University to basically discuss on the solution for drinking water for our country. We have titled this as International Workshop on Coastal Reservoirs. It's also simultaneously, it's a review meeting of the project titled Feasibility Study on the Coastal Reservoir Concept to Impound the Netravati River Floodwaters. Netravati River actually flows out to the ocean near Mangalore, south of Mangalore city. So we are looking for a sustainable strategy for water resources development for Mangalore as well as Bangalore through this. This is a funded project. Can't believe it, for a city for Bangalore, which is 1.2 million people, is short of water. So they are looking for a solution, and they have funded this. For anyone's imagination, Bangalore city is about 1,000 meters above the mean sea level. 350 kilometers is the nearest distance to any coastal town. So they have looking for a solution using a coastal reservoir. That itself speaks volumes about the technology. Anyway, with this brief background on the technology, let me first of all formally welcome Dr. Prahalada Ramarao, distinguished scientist, former CC R&D, DRDO. Welcome, sir. He is also a Padma Shri awardee and extensively worked on several topics. Now he is working on cold fusion in Bangalore along with us, as well as he is helping a lot and advising us on water. A warm welcome to Dr. Prahalada Ramarao. And we have Dr. Shashankan Ramanathan, the Dean of Engineering at Amrita. A warm welcome to you, sir. We also have Mr. Kushal Shetty, General Manager from BR Ventures. A warm welcome to Mr. Kushal Shetty for this function. So you might see what is the relationship between water and Kushal. Kushal, just walked into my office one day, and when I showed him this concept, and he's so excited, he never slept after that. He was thinking about water, and he has taken this concept to the Prime Minister and also to the President of India. He has explained personally to both of them. So hopefully we are waiting to hear from them, and he has taken a lot of initiative. And when we have requested him and to sort of be with us in all these activities, and a great support from him in achieving some of our objectives through his contacts are happening, and he is on the anvil. So thank you very much, Mr. Kushal Shetty, for being with us here on this an important occasion where we are reviewing our project. And we have other very distinguished people in this hall. Dr. Lingaraju, Director, Karnataka State Remote Sensing, former Director, and presently he is actually leading a campaign on river rejuvenation. He is part of the Art of Living along with Sri Ravi Shankar ji, and today he is going to speak to us particularly on Netravati river rejuvenation and making sure that enough water will flow through Netravati for us to collect at the toe. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. And we have Dr. Subramaniam from National Remote Sensing Agency, from former Director ISRO. He is also with now AOL, Art of Living, working with Lingaraju. So we have Professor Chandrasekhar, Chairman Aerospace Department of the Amrita University here with us, former IIT Bombay professor, and also proud to be, he just told us, he is the teacher of Dr. Prahalada. That will speak volumes about it. And we have Professor K. Mini, Chairman of Civil Engineering Department. A warm welcome to you, ma'am. Mr. Captain Natarajan is here with us from Amrita. So thank you very much, sir, for coming here. In addition, I would like to also introduce the team members. We have actually, this is a collaborative project with Indian Institute of Science, Amrita, and NIT Karnataka, Surathkal. So NITK and Amrita has extensively worked in this area. I would like to ask Dr. Srivalsa and Shivasena Reddy to rise. Say hello. Shivasena Reddy, yeah. Both of them are from Amrita University working on this. And I don't need to give a welcome to them because they are part of this and they are actually running this job. And I will also request professors from NIT Surathkal, Raviraj, Ramesh, and Nazar are there. And Professor Amay Mahesh could not come because of his health reasons. He is the head of the Department of Water Resources and Applied Mechanics at NIT Surathkal. And we have Dr. Manoj Samuel from CIFT, Central Institute of Fisheries Technology. You could see, how fisheries technology is related to us, okay? So because it's a coastal reservoir, we are thinking about having, the two people which will be affected finally, that is fishers and the people. So we thought, we should have a person who is working on fisheries and particularly the inland fisheries, because we are now looking at not only the deep fishing as well as the freshwater fishing. So we require how this is going to impact this community so that we can understand better the social problems. So if I have forgotten some other distinguished people in the audience. So for this particularly workshop, the main person who has really helped us from the beginning in supporting us, because any government funding takes a lot of time. But we have a friend and my student also, and today he is the general manager of one of the leading geotechnical firms in the city of Bengaluru, Sarathi Geotechnical Services Private Limited. The CMD is Dr. Parsarthi. Dr. Parsarthi has obtained his PhD from Indian Institute of Science, and from last 20 years he has extensively worked across the globe, including Malaysia, Indonesia. His company has offices in Indonesia, Kenya, Abu Dhabi, and India. So thank you very much for your support for the entire workshop. And he didn't wait for us to wait for the funding. He said, "Sir, you go ahead, sir. We will make all the arrangements." That's the kind of support we got, actually. Thank you very much, Parsat. So we have a very distinguished two people. I remember. So we have two important guests. Professor Shuking Wang Yong. He is a professor. He is a professor in water resources and also the director of coastal reservoir at University of Wollongong, Australia, New South Wales, Australia. And I'm very happy that he could be here today with us. Thank you very much, Professor Young. and he has come all the way for this event. But last 2-3 days, he visited University of Science, and also he is going to give talks in Surathkal tomorrow, and on Friday at IASC, and today he is here with us, and we thank him for making his time and coming here. And we have another important person, Mr. Lim Sin Fo, Managing Director of GNP Associates of Water Division. So GNP Associates is a one-stop solution for civil engineering in Malaysia, with 350 engineers working for them. They have cutting across geotechnical, structural, and water. He heads the water group with about 50 people, or 45 engineers working with him on water-related topics. And myself and Lim and Yong has actually trying to formulate the International Association of Coastal Reservoirs, which is headquartered in Australia. We have already registered that. Formal launching will happen in August. So anyway, warm welcome to all the students of the Amrita, because they are actually their hard work only has produced this beautiful document. This is an interim report. This is not the final report, 350 pages. I couldn't fully read this yet. But anyway, this is an interim report just for, we have made only 2 copies for submission to Bangalore Water Supply Sewerage Board. And all students of NIT Surathkal, as well as all others who have contributed directly or indirectly. And we have one other person, Mr. Shyam Sundar, who also worked on one of the concept. And Prem is also a contributory for this. So with these contribution, let me also formally thank the Bangalore Water Supply Sewerage Board to really taking this very great challenging task. As I told you earlier, a city which is so far away from any ocean has taken a lead step, because this is sort of an out of the box. Let me now just briefly tell you about the concept itself. So the concept is when Yettinavale project in Karnataka was initiated. It's basically a river diversion scheme for the Netravati river to take water to city of Bangalore. Okay. So those who do not know where is Yettinavale is at the top of the Western Ghats near Sakaleshpur. Sakaleshpur, they have identified 4 simple barrages, okay, on some small streams, which actually leads to Netravati river and its tributary. But there is no water there except for 3 months when there is a heavy monsoon rainfall. And about 24 TMC was estimated to be available, and they wanted to take that through districts of Kolar, Chikballapur and to Bangalore, connecting by then a sort of natural gravity flow in some sections, some pumping. And then once I saw that, it's very, very difficult to catch any water at the head of the river. Okay? That means when imagine you are taking a bath, you're trying to catch water at the head, what you will get? Very little water. Maybe if you put a tub, you'll get that full of that. But it's easy to collect entire water at the foot. That is what we are trying to do. So that means put a reservoir at the tail end of the river before it joins the ocean. And the question is whether enough water is available for India, because we are all talking about India is a water-starved country. But today, after you will listen to all these people, experts who are here, you will definitely agree with me. India is not a water-starved country. Actually, India is a storage-starved country. So then you can question us whether we haven't done anything since independence. Almost 65 years, we have completed more than 65 years. But we are the 3rd largest dam building nation in the world. How many dams we have built? 5,000 dams we have built, of more than 15 meter high. These are large dams I'm talking about. 90% of them are earth dams. That's where my expertise comes in. So this 90% of the earthen dams, okay, store how much water? Because of lot of siltation and all these problems, the water storage per capita for India is at the rock bottom. Per capita storage of water in India is equivalent to Ethiopia. China has done much, much better than us. 6 times they have more than us. And Canada is actually one of the largest storage per capita in the world. So we need to first do something, rather than storing petroleum resources. We are building big underground caverns in Chennai and Vizag to store petroleum reserve. Instead of that, I think we should do something to store water. So that's where actually the role of Dr. Lingaraju and others are coming in. So by storing water underground, so we are also working on what is called as underground dams, okay, in the river course itself. In addition to storing by infiltration wells, and rainwater harvesting is one of the fantastic idea. I think with all that, coastal reservoirs plays a major role because coastal reservoir can store large amount of water at the tail. Anyway, you will hear many of these things. A warm welcome to all of you in this hall. And without delaying much, so I would like to hand over the mic, and I also request Dr. Prahlad Ramarao to give his inaugural address for this fantastic evening. So I thank the Amrita University in total to give us the entire space and also the facilities, and also a warm welcome to all of us to be here with you. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the administrative authorities of the Amrita. With these few remarks, I request Dr. Prahlad Ramarao to give his remarks.
Good morning. So, Professor Sitaram has brought out nicely how we started and where are we. In fact, just a few months ago only we were talking how Etinahole can be practical, and in a very short time, probably a few months, we have snowballed into a major program. Not only it's become a major program for Bangalore water, probably it will be snowball into a major program for the entire country. It may go. Our Kushal Shetty says, I will make it national program, not just Bangalore program. So it's going to change. The whole scenario of water management in the country will change. See, here we have some veterans here, like Lingaraju is there, Subramaniam is there, J.C. Chandrasekhar is there. We have all veterans, old, experienced people, but rest are all very, very young. And Mr. Natarajan also is a veteran side, I think. Otherwise, this is a very young gathering, including Kushal Shetty. So very young, very dynamic, very energetic, because I have seen the team in Bangalore, now I am seeing in Coimbatore. Very young, energetic, dynamic team. Plus they are ambitious, they are looking for how to change the map of India. This is what I see. And we veterans will help see how your dream can be realized. When somebody mentioned today that Professor Sitaram come with some high level ideas, I thought he is an underwater man, low level, goes water, underwater. Now I realize high level means from 1,000 meters. He wants to take water from sea to 1,000 meters high level and pump water. So it is going to be a game changer in the country as far as water supply is concerned. See, I have been an aerospace and a missiles man throughout life. Only I had experience in underwater and water system when I was designing a missile system for underwater launch. It is called K-15, called Sagarika. It is a strategic missile. It is now under production. It was tested in the Bay of Bengal. And we used to go take the missile and how to launch it from underwater and bring it up some 100 meters below the sea surface, and then it should come out and then go into air, then again go to the target point. There I dealt with a lot of civil engineers like Professor Sitaram in ISC, Bangalore, water dynamics, hydrodynamics. Then I got interested in the water. Then now I am at SVS University. We are looking at energy and water are two major requirements for sustenance of human civilization, energy and water. So I am working in both the areas, and now we are looking at the water problem for a particular zone to start with, but he's already worked out what is known as Sagaramala, where the entire country's water problem can be completely demolished, the so-called crisis. See, the amount of precipitation that falls on the Indian geographic side is not reducing. It is maybe very, you can say erratic. But the amount of quantum of waterfall is there. Only we are not able to capture it. The whole concept started with that. There is no shortage of water. It is there, but it comes in spurts. It comes unexpectedly. There are floods. There are all sorts of things happening. But even in Markara, where the rain water is there, within a few days the water gets run off. We are not able to capture it. So how to do it? So we have now two complementary concepts with Professor Lingaraju saying that the water should remain along the coast of the river so that the river is sustained, river flows, river ecosystem manages, and when the river enters water, capture the water and the fresh water is stored. So it is a freshwater coastal reservoir with the total fresh water which can be used. This is the concept, and it's a very thrilling concept. I am sure this will work because all the nuts and bolts have been worked out, and costing, technology, science, raw material, how to manage, everything has been addressed. And this small document, it looks so big, just is a preliminary work, but then the DPR will bring out exactly what is the quantum of work. Now you can see, I was studying the two countries which started the highway work in the world, USA and Malaysia. When they started, the concept of highway network, road network was only to provide fast transportation. It was started with a simple objective, how to move from one city to another city at the fastest way. But they found that over a period of 1 decade, how that simple concept has grown into a mega economic activity in the country. It supported the transportation as the first thing, but then the agriculture in that zone really boosted up because farmers, you can grow and immediately transport before it perishes. Automobile industry, because more vehicles to go. So automobile industry flourished, complete country. Then the science and technology for road construction, maintenance, repair, automobile, new types of vehicles, higher efficiency vehicles, a complete chain of technologies came up. Tourism picked up because people are able to travel faster. Entertainment, sports, everything. So the whole economic scenario of the two countries, Malaysia and USA, changed drastically. Then Germany, the economic activity was maybe 100-fold increase moment the road network was established. If you learn from that lesson, now you come to coastal freshwater reservoir. Is it having the potential for a similar transformation in the economic scenario, wherever it is done? Karnataka today, tomorrow it may be Tamil Nadu, it may be Andhra Pradesh, it may be Orissa. Will similar thing happen? I feel if you bring out analogy and use some innovative ideas, extrapolate how they have done, how we can do in our own country, I think it's going to change scenario. I was just talking to Kushal Shetty, he says up to 500 meters, government today has a restriction. You can't start any economic activity along the coast, but probably we have to change. If Karnataka thinks of a new flag, they can think of a new law also. So you can make a, see how it can change. Tourism, change the solar energy. Sham Sundar has worked out a proposal. Generate enough energy so that you can pump the water. Put a helipad, add sports activities, healthcare, tourism, new way of growing freshwater fish. Can we increase? New agriculture, water-based power stations, water-based agriculture, sea-based agriculture. So it is an enormous, it left to our imagination, how we can think innovatively. See, we all, I remember, we all knew Vrindavan garden only for entertainment. We never thought it gives supports agriculture, it supports water supply. So the tourism captured Vrindavan gardens and marketed Vrindavan gardens. It was not originally meant for garden. Similarly, you can see how a reservoir, a huge reservoir, several hundreds of square kilometers, can change the scenario. I think that's what I require the young people to look at innovatively, how I can make better things. Make money, make new technology, make new science, make new business, invite people from all over the world, and it will change the whole scenario. And also education. For example, there should be in the school, maybe high school level, the say famous NCERT books should contain a chapter on coastal freshwater reservoir. So that when they graduate, they have already studied in their school days that what is a coastal freshwater reservoir. It did not be taught at the BTech, MTech level, it can be taught at high school level. So please, Professor, like, see, you can write a chapter and give it to NCERT and ask them to start at the school level. So the children grow, they know what is a coastal freshwater reservoir. I don't have to explain. You don't have, minister will know that it is a really required, it can be done. The technology is known, science is known, results are available in many countries, give the examples, and then teach them at the school level. So it can be part of education, tourism, culture, sports, aquaculture, agriculture. It's throughout you can do it. This is what actually we are all looking at it and we have Indian brothers, I call them Lim and Yang. So in Chinese there is one Indian, no? That is positive and negative. There is a pairing. So they are a pair here with us. They have seen in Malaysia, they have seen in China, in Canada, in how this water management has transformed, metamorphosized the whole scenario. I think we make a good team. Professor Sitaram has done a wonderful job of putting the business people, the philanthropers, the technology people, the science people, and also futuristic thinkers, think tanks. All he has put together, and now this team has come up to this stage, and I see a very big change, is a change maker for the country, for the water scenario in the country, and I am sure BWSSB will support fully for this. The signs are very good, and Kushal Shetty says, you move forward, money comes behind you. You don't have to chase money. So he says, you move, money will come, follow you. You don't have to, you don't chase the money, it will come. Because there are so many new business models, you know, maybe 20 years ago, people didn't know what is a BOT. That is, you build, own, and then later transfer. Today, the new business model, people build hotels, people build highways, railways, power stations. Somebody will come put money, somebody will invest, somebody will earn it over 20 years. So new business models are emerging all the time. So probably there is new business model also can be evolved for coastal freshwater reservoirs. So there is a sea of new possibilities, new innovations possible, and I see a very dynamic team here with dreams and ideas, and I'm sure this will be a big success. I am very happy to be part of this activity, and I wish all the participants the best. And we will meet here with more success stories to share, and Amrita will have made a history having the supported such an activity in a very comprehensive way. So I wish you all the best for the conference and all the proceedings. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So as a token of affection from Amrita, I request Dr. Sashangan to hand over a small memento to Dr. Prahlad Ramrao. Yeah, we will request Mr. Kushal Shetty to share his words of wisdom.
Good morning, everybody gathered here. See, we generally say that infection is not a good sign, but I can see here all full of people infected with the water and ideologies. That's really, we are happy to see that. All this started by just one paper of A4 size, which today I'm very surprised and very happy to see a volume of 350 pages. I think we didn't even cover 350 days. Hardly 120 days, which started first we discussed with Professor Sitaram. When the minister called me, Mr. George, Bangalore Development Minister, called me and asked me that there's an acute shortage of drinking water for Bangalore. Can we start desalination, getting it from Bangalore? Then I said, sir, for the last 37 years, I'm drinking desalinated water in Dubai. But I don't think that we can do it for India because simply for the reason of the cost. We cannot. Because in Chennai, they are doing it desalination, which they are paying $1.80 on the spot for desalination, and that also 90 MLD. For Karnataka, we need such a huge volume, we will not be able to do that. No, Israel came and they will supply it at a cheap price. I said, whatever that, the cheap they say, but for us it will be difficult, it's expensive. So it was after 3 days, every day I was thinking, oh, something should be done. I told, sir, we will do something. I don't know what I made to give that words, we will do something, wait. For 3 or 4 days, I was only, eating, drinking, sleeping, water only. It was not going in my mind. Something has to be done. So one day I happened to meet Professor Sitaram. The moment I entered, he said that, sir, look at this. I said, I was waiting for the same thing for the last 3 days. Let us do it. The ball started rolling from there. And that was then continued in a big, it developed in such a beautiful way. And I never thought, because I'm not a technical person, not a hydrological or civil or anything. I'm a simple layman who consumes enough water. That's only I know, not anything else. But today it has developed. I'm really, really very proud to be associated with you people. And I see, yes, this is the project which will be in the near future, is a global project. It's not only restricted to the small area of Mangalore or Karnataka, or for that matter, India. It will develop as a world phenomenon, where I have seen the people like you all joining head and heart. Nobody has thought about this as a commercial or anything. This project is involvement of everyone, is purely selfish motive. Selfish motive means you get the pleasure or satisfaction. That's one. If this selfish motive can be there with everybody, I support such that let's do something together with getting the purely pleasure, personal satisfaction. I'm sure this will go in a big way, and thank you very much for all of you joining this, and let's together make it a really big project in the days to come. And we are having that proud feeling, yes, we initiated this project, at least in India, if not anywhere else. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best in this project, and let's go further in a longer way to walk. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your encouraging talk. Now I request Dean Engineering to hand over a memento as a token of affection from Amrita. Now, as the chief guest also mentioned, we have to encourage the young thinkers with a lot of dreams and ideas. So, at the start of the function, now we will appreciate the student team with certificates and small memento. So, I will call out the names of the students. So please come in line. Yeah, come quickly. Yes, Prem Kumar. Yes, those pen also. Pen. Joga Parth. Quickly, Joga Parth. Yeah, please. Amala Krishnan. Harinath Reddy. Nimmi. Ravish. Anabha. Manikanta. Narayani. Nitish Kumar. Nishant. Pradaksha. Samyukta. Thank you very much, sir. So, as this project started, we have been getting lot of insights and encouragement from our Honorable Dean Engineering, Dr. Shashankan. He has been giving us lot of ideas and insights in all throughout this project. So, I will request Dr. Shashankan to few remarks, please, sir.
Om Namah Shivaya. I want to, on behalf of Amrita family, extend a very warm welcome to such accomplished people. And it's indeed a great pleasure for us to have so much knowledge packed in this small room. It's truly, you students are truly gifted to have such a group here. Not just give you one idea, but if you just listen to the last 30 minutes, what you do as a simple project or a simple concept, how it can affect and change the whole economy, the whole place around your little central idea. Very succinctly and nicely articulated by Professor Sitaram. I happened to meet him about 2 months ago. The enthusiasm was just contagious. Unbelievable how he explained this in about 10 minutes to me, and I said, "Sir, thank you for sending the bright young minds of IISc to Amrita." And I'm really honored and proud. I don't know how to say it. Thanks for inviting me and taking pictures of me with such great people. I'm sure, hopefully, before my life is over, I'll be able to relish and cherish that picture, because this project is just truly amazing, and the concept is going to change the way India looks at things. I mean, we fight for water. Every other month there is something. The headlines for all the news agencies is which state is fighting with which state for water. And the next war may not be over anything, just water. And you go to Google Map, you'll see civilization around rivers and ocean. I mean, Professor Yong can tell you Shanghai is so populated. And you go a little bit west in China. I've spent a lot of time in China. 1 hour flight into the middle of China, there is nothing. The entire population is on the east coast. Why? It's all driven by water. And taking a small piece of paper and turning it to this kind of document, I congratulate and honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank the contributors from both Amrita and NIT. It's truly a great thing to start. And I am really proud, and I make sure that this room is available for this project any time of the year, any day of the month. And thank you for coming here, and I'm indeed proud of my department, the civil engineering department. I'm really proud to be representing that. I mean, my title is dean, but they do the work, honestly. And what seemed to be like a small department probably 6 years ago, it's grown to be one of the best. And I'm really honestly saying, one of the best in Amrita. Very young, talented group. And Professor Sitaram, I've requested him to inject more and more of his students into Amrita. And he's promised to do that. Again, I welcome each and every one of you, and I wish you all the best. And anything I can do, I will be there to help you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So, you all know our Shashankan sir is the youth icon of the university because he considers himself as young, and we also consider so with new ideas. Thank you very much, sir. Now I will request Professor Chandrasekharan to, because as he mentioned, he has been teacher of Dr. Prahlada, chief guest of the day. Yes. Yeah, you have that authority, sir.
Om Namah Shivaya. It's a great pleasure being here. The only time I was involved in water and water problems was when I was in IIT Bombay and part of the Sardar Sarovar Nigam dam and how to manage the water. So they wanted somebody to give a control algorithm. So I was involved with that, SSNL. Apart from that, I didn't know that there was such a huge problem, except that what Dr. Shashankan said about reading in the newspaper, everybody is fighting for this water. In that sense, Bangalore and Tamil Nadu have a issue, and I'm quite happy to note that Bangalore, represented by Sitaraman and all of them have come here to Tamil Nadu and solve the water problem. As has been mentioned earlier, Dr. Prahlad, way back in 75, was with me trying to do his PhD or something like that. And then he found better prospects and he left and he went away. So I am very proud to say that a dropout from IIT Bombay PhD is here as your chief guest, and I had the fortune of being his teacher for a short time. But we go back 45 years, and we have been in touch all the time, and it's such a pleasure to see him back in Amrita, and I'm sure we'll make arrangements along with Shashankan's blessings that he will come and address our students in the aerospace department as well. Thank you very much. And thank you. And welcome to all of you here, and have a wonderful time and solve this problem once for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So now we will go ahead with the technical sessions.
You just say that, announce that. First talk, so then we'll call. No, it's okay. It's okay.
So now we have the keynote address by Professor T.G. Sitaram on coastal freshwater reservoir to impound river floodwaters, a sustainable strategy for water resource development in India. Professor Sitaram.
So very good morning to all of you again. Slightly running late, but however, let me not take much time and give you a very brief idea about the freshwater coastal reservoirs. So the concept is, the two parts you have to see. That is, we are trying to create a coastal freshwater reservoir, as clearly highlighted by Dr. Prahalada, but using the river floodwaters. Okay? So we think that these 2 points go together to have a sustainable strategy for water resources development in India. I'm going to give you the entire overview of that. It is not just for city of Bangalore and Mangalore. We are actually looking at it in a larger scale for the entire India. So before I proceed, we all hear about some terminologies. Okay? TMC, so 1 billion cubic meter. Okay? So what is 1 BCM and what is 1 TMC? So I think we need to understand that, because otherwise we will be nowhere. So 1 billion cubic meter of water is basically 35 TMCs. TMC is 1 billion cubic feet actually. This is 1,000th of a million cubic feet. 1 TMC is 1,000 of a million cubic feet, which is nothing but a billion cubic feet, which is 28.3 million cubic meters. Just to give you an idea, if you have a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer area with a 28.3 meter column of water, that makes 1 TMC. It's a very large volume, isn't it? So, of such 35 times of that, it constitutes 1 billion cubic meter of water. Okay. So now we are talking about storing very large quantity of water, not small quantity of water. Very, very large quantity of water. So what is that we are fighting with Tamil Nadu? 10 TMC. Just remember that. 10 TMC. And what is that we have stored in KRS dam across Kaveri in Mysore? Close to about 50 TMC of water. Okay. So this tells you. So what is the Bangalore requires? 900 million liters per day. Okay. Present supply. And which comes to about 12 TMC per year. 1 year we require about 12 TMC, because TMC is a volume. So this is one, when you convert this 900 MLD, that comes to something like 12 TMC foot per year. So with this background, I will keep talking about some of these TMCs and BMCs quite frequently. Karnataka has about 72 million, 7.2 crores people. Domestic water supply required even at 150 LPCD, actually the code says 135, but the style of living and the things have changed. And actually in the city of Bangalore and city of Chennai, people are almost using 200 liters per day, per capita. So if you take that, very large amount of water, about 135 TMC foot of water is required for domestic water required. So average rainfall in Karnataka is something like 1250, entire Karnataka. But if you look at the coastal Karnataka, you look at 3 times It's about 3,500 millimeter. Almost, close to 4,000 millimeter average rainfall in the coastal areas. So there are river systems in Karnataka. There are 7, about 190,000 square kilometer of drainage area. Major rivers like Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Pennar, Palar, and west flowing rivers, almost like 12 of them. Okay, west flowing rivers are such a thing. They just start from the Western Ghats, the deep, steep drop, and then flows into the ocean very quickly. Majority of these rivers are about 100 to 150 kilometer length only. Okay, they just went into the ocean. So the total, if you look at the water resources for the state of Karnataka, surface and groundwater is about 485 TMC. So there is enough water actually. And 7 basin yield about 3,500 TMC of water. 60% of this yield provided by west flowing rivers alone. That means almost 2,000 TMC of water is produced by just these west flowing rivers. With this huge amount of water still suffers repetitive droughts in Karnataka. We have shortage of water. So why this is happening? Similarly, if you look at the city of Bangalore, which is about 12 million, close to 2016 data, with a 800 square kilometer, that is BBMP, Brihat Bangalore Mahanagarpalike. Domestic water again at that is something close to about 22 TMC foot per year is required for city of Bangalore. So there are no rivers actually in city of Bangalore. Shibhavati is turned into a sewage today. Shibhavati was a river, minor river, which actually is a tributary later to Kaveri. It will go and join. So water resources as per BWSSB, 900 MLD comes from what is called as TK Halli, that is Thorekadnahalli, which is actually on the banks of river Kaveri. Which is how far from Bangalore? 100 kilometer away and about 300 meter lower than city of Bangalore. Bangalore is about 900 meters above the mean sea level. Thorekadnahalli is about 600 meters, which is about 100 kilometers. That means for the entire city of Bangalore, we are depending on Kaveri water, pumping 100 kilometers away, 300 meters elevation already. We have done it in 4 stages. Stage 1, Kaveri stage 1, Kaveri stage 2, 3, 4. Okay. And also we depend heavily on the groundwater. We are using bore wells. So that's why our groundwater level is also depleting very crazily. 80% of the water comes from Thorekadnahalli. Please remember that. 80% of the required water for city of Bangalore comes from a small village which is 100 kilometers away, 300 meters down. That means we need to pump all the time. So pumping is inevitable for water supply. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. So Hasarghatta and TG Halli, Hasarghatta is another small lake. Actually that is a lake, but it doesn't receive any rainfall or any rainfall water. We are actually putting water from Kaveri into that Hasarghatta lake and pumping that to the distributaries through that. Okay. So additional water required is still 900 MLD because the way Bangalore city is growing is crazy. It's grown like crazy. In the last 10-15 years, it's huge population growth. So this is this scenario by 2030, their expectation, BWS's expectation is 1500. That is why there is no source of water for them. That is why they are interested in our project. So what is our project? So as I told you, Karnataka, India has built 5,000 dams on land dams. And today, all of us understand in this room how difficult to build any dam now, large dam. Professor is already, he told, Sardar Sarovar is maybe the last large dam we are going to build, at least in the main India. Maybe in the northeast some dams might happen across Brahmaputra because there is not many people anyway in Arunachal and other places. But in the main India, there are not going to be any major dams because it's going to displace large number of people. It's going to submerge large number of villages and towns, and which you can't do today with the kind of compensations are going to be paid. It's a huge amount, and people also doesn't want to move. In a democratic society, it is very difficult to do that. And we have seen that in Sardar Sarovar, and we will have maybe 100 Meda Patkars to go against any of these large dam constructions. Okay? So, how many dams? Look at, Maharashtra alone has more than 1600 dams. When I say large dam, it is 15 meter and above. Okay? It could be concrete, it could be rock-filled dam, it could be earthen dam. But majority of the dams in India are earthen dams. Karnataka has 231 large dams. And India is the third largest, highest number of dams in the world. Okay? And we know what is the problem. Unchecked construction of dams has inflicted severe damage on the river ecosystems as well. Many of the river downstream becomes dry completely. Okay? And we have seen that in the Jog Falls also when we did the Jog Falls project. There was no water on the Jog Falls at all because of the Linganmakki dam. So Linganmakki actually diverts the entire water using for electricity generation. So there is no water on Jog Falls itself. So these are the challenges you are going to see by building the dams on land. Okay? So today, any large large dam on land is a big no for anybody. So, but remember, water storage is very essential because my friends will talk about how the rainfalls are going to be varying, and you will not get the rainfall for the entire year. Rainfalls, particularly in Indian continent, is only restricted to about 3 to 4 months, monsoon, which is also erratic today. And the dams what we have built, thinking that there will be enough rainfall, no rainfall is coming upstream of the dam and the catchment area of those dams. Rainfall is happening elsewhere. But I will tell you, about 4,000 kilometer cube of water rainfall India receives, which is in the last 150 years has not changed. It is still the 4,000 kilometer cube of water which is coming. This is not my statement, it is the data of the Central Water Commission. Okay, no change in the rainfall, average rainfall fallen on Indian subcontinent in the last 150 years. So then what is the problem? The problem is this is erratic, happening where it was earlier happening and it is not happening today. And the rainfalls are majorly shifted to coastal areas where there are no dams. Okay? And another thing is happening, very intense rainfalls are happening for maybe about an hour, and it is not for the throughout the day. Like, somebody was asking, I said Bangalore has received in May almost 300 mm rainfall. Sir, no sir, we have not seen the rainy days of Bangalore. Correct, even in May we did not see. But the volume of water has come in is equivalent to 300 mm average in the month of May alone. That means very intense rainfall for a very brief period happens, which creates floods and just vanishes. So, water is very essential for us because I have to tell you, water, food, fishes, okay, and energy are a nexus actually. They are all integrated. We need to really look at, if water is not there, we might have food shortage and fish shortage, as well as we will have a shortage of electricity. Because even today we are depending heavily on electric powers. Okay? So this is the nexus actually. Any success of our economy, actually we have to solve the water problem. So we need to provide a buffer also flood management. Today actually these intense rainfalls are creating a flash floods. City of Bangalore, which doesn't have any rivers, also flooded. You have seen that. There is no rivers, but it is also flooded. And many people are killed in these floods, small floods. So a lot more has to be accomplished in securing enough storage. As I told you earlier, the storage and annual storage capacity, per capita storage capacity of India is equivalent to Ethiopia, which is really worst. So what we are thinking is a coastal reservoir. If you look at a reservoir, river, which is flowing from Western Ghats, flows into the ocean uninterruptedly because there are no dams there. Very, very minor dams and small storage check dams for storing water and power are there. But Netravati is actually, some of them will give you the actual data. But 80% of the water in Netravati simply joins the ocean. So what we are thinking is, why don't we store that at the mouth of the river using this flood water. That means it is really a fresh water storage replacing the salt water near the mouth. And we don't want to do this for every river. Please don't be scared. And even here also, we are not going to store entire water which is flowing in the river right here. No. We are only storing 10% of that water, which is already very huge, because I told you 2000 TMC of water flows from west flowing rivers alone. Almost close to 350 from river Netravati alone flows out. So we can't store 350 TMC at all, because we require very, very large area. We are thinking of storing something like about 25 to 30 TMC of water. And as I told you, even Bangalore also, everybody, that is much more than enough. We don't require actually beyond that. So about 25 to 30 TMC if we store, that means which is only the 10% of that water which is flowing into the ocean. So the flood water is a natural resource, and also water quality in the flood water is much better than the ordinary days which is happening. So coastal reservoir basically collect this runoff flood water from the entire watershed and provide a sort of a greatest potential for us. So instead of looking alternatives like the desalinated water or sewage water, I will tell you about the sewage treated water. Even today we have a taboo. We don't want to drink that, even though its quality is much better than Kaveri water. See, none of us, what is BWSSB doing is a fantastic membrane technologies they have used. What they are doing, they are simply leaving it to the stream again, back. Why? Why they cannot use it for Bangalore city for grey water? At least the grey water can come back and use in the apartments. I will tell you the infrastructure, what is required for water supply. We need to have now double lines, because this grey water has to come to only the toilets and other usage. To build that, even 200 years is not enough for us, because the one first itself, we have not provided pipelines to drinking water to all people, all houses. In the first line itself, where is the question of providing a second line to bring that grey water back? And that too, where is the treatment plant? Again another 60 or 70 kilometers away from Bangalore city. Bringing that pumping, again energy costs. I don't think it's going to happen. So what is happening is at a micro level they are distributing the effluent treatment plants, and in apartment they will do. There also it becomes a challenge, because apartment costs are going to become much higher, because you have to put a double line back and separate line for toilets and all those things. And only some rich section of the society is able to do, definitely not the lower section of the society. And our country is a poor country. So there is no way of the second line. So we need to look for fresh water which can sustain, not the treated water. So the treated water cost, I will show you, it will much higher than. So this concept, has it been done anywhere else, sir? Yes. As early as 1932, Netherlands has done for flood control purpose, and which is called Reservoirs. Okay, and it's one of the largest dam. They have done it in 5 years in the shallow waters of 15 to 20 meter deep. The dike was constructed in the ocean and stopped the seawater intrusion into this reservoir, and this is completely a freshwater reservoir. So in 5 years they built it, 32 kilometer. That means that too in a very rough sea of North Sea. Definitely construction is not a challenge at all today with the kind of advancement what we have in construction technologies. South Korea has done 2. Siwa is for the tidal energy. Simangam is a very classical one, land reclamation and freshwater. And I have to tell you, this also gives you additional land. That's what our friend Professor Yang is going to talk to you. Hong Kong has Shipik, Florco, Highland. After this, Hong Kong actually has decommissioned the desalination plant after building these things. But again they are thinking, because Professor Yang was telling all the engineers who are there thinking about coastal reservoir have retired. Now the new younger generation has forgotten about how they built really the coastal reservoirs in 60s and 70s. China has done 3, and I think some of them we are going to show you the case studies. Qingsha is all fresh water, and majority is for the coastal cities in China. Singapore has Barira Barrage is actually received one of the best environmental project of the world award from United Nations, and after this New York is considering already the Hudson Bay to convert into